Gamers! Josh here, and it's a good day in the realm. We officially have the announcement of the first wave of stores that are going to receive a Cornerstone kit and be able to host a store championship. So I went through the list. We have 30 different countries, including 35 states in the US. And of all the states to come out on top, it was Ohio with 8 events. They're going to be very busy over there. And I just took it the Midwest in general. There are 17 events in the first wave that I feel are within a reasonable driving distance for me, plus one more that I always try to make time for at a particular store. So I'm going to be very busy, especially given that the Explorer series is going to be carrying on through most of the rest of this year. Other things that were tucked into this announcement, and probably the thing that I think a lot of people are going to miss, there is an indication that more Arthurian Legends store kits are going to be provided to these Cornerstone stores, and it's going to be direct. Thank you. Getting those Arthurian Legends store kits has been a struggle for the store that I host events at. They were able to get one, fantastic, but it'd be nice if I could get my hands on a few more so that I could keep providing support for the events that I run. So even though I am very excited that all of these Cornerstone events are now posted and up, and we have all of this to look forward to, the fact that they're also going to release some more of those Arthurian Legends kits to these stores that have shown that they're willing to host a store championship, I think that's fantastic. I think it's really going to allow us to continue on with regular events that provide a quality amount of prize support. Now, for those of you that are not in a state that has an event, or it's just a big driving distance to get to the next state over, or whatever your situation may be outside of the US, I did notice that Canada only had, I think, 4 events. It feels pretty low for a country the size of Canada, even though I know most of the populated areas are further south in the country. 4 events seems really limited for the entire breadth of Canada. So hopefully that problem will be fixed. But back to those of you who are like, oh no, my store didn't get one or whatever, I can't drive to these. The good news is this is just the first wave. So Eric's Curiosa is going to continue to accept applications. They're going to continue to approve more stores to actually do these types of store championships with a Cornerstone kit. Now, the thing they didn't explain was, is it going to be this kit that's coming out now? Or maybe are we talking about, well, next year they'll get the next year's kit? Or is it just going to be the same kit and they're going to run it over into next year? That really wasn't all explained. I'm sure that the emails that are sent out to the stores are going to give them some guidelines, what they need to do, how soon they need to host this. That was one other question that I had, because it does say that these kits will be sent out in early August. Originally, when I filled out the survey for my store, it indicated that this event could be held as early as July. It doesn't sound like that is the case, just the logistics of getting the kits to the stores. So I am wondering, is there a cap? Is there an end date? I didn't see that in the announcement. I'm sure it's something that's going directly to those stores to explain, or maybe they're going to post it later. They just wanted to get the announcement about the stores out. But I'm wondering if maybe some stores are going to be able to host their event maybe into early next year, especially since we know that the Avatar of the Realm event is going to be early next year. So given that the culmination of organized play is at that event, I could certainly see Eric's Curiosa being a little bit flexible with when the event, the final date to win the event. So maybe a January, February event might be okay. We don't know that yet, but I'm assuming the Avatar of the Realm is probably going to be March or April-ish. That's just my guess. I consider that early in the year, and I can't think they would want to do something like that in January and February, given the winter months. Though I suppose if they do it in, say, Texas or Florida, Arizona, somewhere south where you don't run into as many weather issues, maybe they'd be okay with that. That being said, the Midwest came out pretty strong in the number of events that we received, and we do. Winters can cause us issues. So I am hoping that maybe that Avatar of the Realm is going to be more towards March and April, and then maybe, given that the store kits are going to come in early August, maybe some stores will be like, well, we're going to host it in January, host it in February, try to get it done like that so that all of these events can be held. The real question is, how many additional waves are there going to be? Are there really going to be waves? Is it going to be more of a, okay, this store definitely, they got their application in late, we're definitely going to give one to them and they can host it sometime. They didn't really explain that process, and we don't need to know those internal workings, to be honest. I'm just glad to see this first wave. I'm glad to see that it is so robust, that there are so many stores listed, and that there are so many countries involved. I was really surprised with some of the countries on the list. South Africa, Taiwan, Malaysia. So countries I did not realize had an actual Sorcery store, a store that was supporting Sorcery. So I think that is fantastic. I was also surprised to see that the state of Alaska is getting an event. I think that's AK. Yeah, that's AK. Arkansas is AR. So AK, Alaska, is getting an event. So that's fantastic. Going to be a lot of events. I'm a little worried about making it to all of them in my area. I'm hoping that these stores, I do know that a lot of the people in these stores know each other, here in the Midwest at least. So I think hopefully there's going to be some coordination. We definitely don't want to pin these events onto the same weekends. It's going to be tough to get all those in, especially with the Explorer Series going on, at least here in the Midwest. I think other areas might be okay, but maybe not. California's got a lot of events going on. And plus, we're entering summer, and we all know everyone's busy in the summer. Places to go, vacations, all that stuff. So getting all these events in so that people can get to them, I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a logistical issue for people in these groups to work together to make sure that their events don't line up onto the same date as another store championship. Obviously, we would like to see each of these events have as many people as possible enjoying Sorcery. So, really happy to see this list. And one more little thing related to Gen Con. We have received confirmation that there is going to be a constructed event only on Sunday. One of the big, I don't know if I'd call it a dust up, but one of the big things that kind of came out when the events were posted for Gen Con was there was no total constructed event. There was no event that was totally dedicated to constructed. The Crossroads is very close. There's only 2 rounds of draft, but constructed players, some of them really wanted a event that was just completely constructed. That has been added to the schedule on Sunday. Hopefully we'll end up on that event list in the near future so you can wish list it. It may not get there in time. Gen Con is adding events every single day, just so you all know. Some of them have went up, actually spoiled some things for some companies, special things they wanted to not share, and those got pulled back down. This happens every year for those of you who don't go to Gen Con events, up, down, up, down. So that is something, so that constructed event may not make it onto the Gen Con event list before we get to this weekend, the 18th, I think it's the 18th, when we are going to be able to register those events, complete our wish lists, and get involved. So be ready for that this Sunday. That is the time that we are going to be doing that. I think that's it for today. Great day. Cornerstone events. Organized play. We're a go. Awesome. As always, keep on contesting the realm.